You also provided over $800,000 worth of travel expenses. Who's using the travel expenses? Are you funding travel? Are you guys funding any participation in any kind of protest or organized protest anywhere?
Well, I was invited by this committee on Friday, and the ticket prices are quite high because obviously gas prices are high. So right. I spent money on that travel. That doesn't
get to the question. I mean, it's a great Dodge. It's a beautiful Dodge, but it would sure be nice if you just answer whether you guys fund anybody traveling to protest, which is what the question was.
People have a First Amendment right to protest, and we definitely pay for the gas.
And you help fund protests, right? Are you participating in the Delaney Hall protests? Are you funding people to get there? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank the witnesses for all coming today. Mr. Newman, I was totally unfamiliar with the National Day Labor Organizing Network until I saw that there was you or someone from the organization was going to be here. So I wanted to find out a little bit about it, so I went to the 990. And I'm wondering, as the lawyer for the organization, did you review or participate in preparing the 990?
We have several procedures to prepare and submit our 990. Yes.
Did you help? My question is, did you help personally? Because I don't know. Did you review this, or I realize there's going to be procedures. You probably have a CPA on board. Did you review it?
I certainly didn't look at it before this hearing in preparation for this hearing, but I've been working for the organization since
you said 20 years.
For 20 years.
Yeah, so I figure you're going to know quite a bit about this. So I'm going to just ask a couple of questions, and maybe you know, maybe you don't. I want to get a feel for it. In 2022, there was what I would call kind of a record, basically over the history of the organization. You guys brought in $14 million in revenue that year, and normal looks to be about $6 to $7 million, although in 2023 it was about $3.5 million. Was there anything particular? Let me just put it this way: were there any government grants ever given to the National Day Labor Organizing Network, to your knowledge, if you know?
Yeah, federal grants are a very small portion of our budget, empirically, Congressman. What we have seen, particularly since 2016, when President Trump came down the escalator targeting our members, has been a ginormous outpouring of public support and donations.
So you rely mostly on
civil rights and economic rights of our members. And so, right. Yes, we've received tons of donations.
So you're getting donations from across the country and stuff like that.
We get them at our website, www.ndlon.org.
But you can't tell me the amount, if any, of federal grants you guys get on an annual basis.
I cannot, no.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Because in 2022, 64% of your revenue was public donations, and on your 990, nobody's listed on there. I assume that they're either all small or you didn't list the major donors, so, because there's no donors listed. I wanted to ask you another question with regard to grants. The organization gives out grants to a number of other I don't know if they're affiliate organizations or other organizations. I mean, are you familiar with Houston's America for All?
I'm not.
How about Salva?
Salva, oh yeah.
Okay. Salva, it says they received from you guys $11,000. They're based in Palmdale. It says for program support. What does program support mean?
We provide a variety of services to day laborers when their employers don't pay them, which 50% of day laborers have reported. So we will help them recover their wages.
Okay, so but this is actually a cash grant. This isn't you providing services. That's another listing. You gave a grant to Salva for $11,000. It says program support. TVN Red de Pueblos Transnacionales, they got money for support. Unidad Latina en Acción received $21,000 for program support, and you can go on down, and the Chinese Affirmative Action received $60,000 to support worker centers. I'm just trying to know these are cash grants, and are you familiar with these? Do you guys vet these organizations or anything?
Well, you say cash grants. I mean, yeah, they're money that we provide. We have
Right.
71 member organizations in 17 states. The fact of the matter is, although the numbers you are citing, both big and small, are, again, I'm not, familiar with all the details of each particular grant. The fact is that we have to ration scarce resources
Right.
because the level of assault.
I get that. I think we all can get that. Yeah, but you also provided over $800,000 worth of travel expenses. Who's using the travel expenses? Are you funding travel? Are you guys funding any participation in any kind of protest or organized protest anywhere?
Well, I was invited by this committee on Friday, and the ticket prices are quite high because obviously gas prices are high. So I spent money on that travel. I spent money.
That doesn't get to the question. I mean, it's a great Dodge. It's a beautiful Dodge, but it would sure be nice if you just answer whether you guys fund anybody traveling to protest, which is what the question was.
People have a First Amendment right to protest, and we definitely pay for the gas.
And you help fund protests, right?
Well, I mean, I'm here in essence to protest immigration policy.
Sure,
and so
sure,
I've
but
been
I mean, you're
funded to come
protesting
here.
are you participating in the Delaney Hall protests? Are you funding people to get there?
And the witness can answer the question, and then the 5 minutes is up.
Sorry.
We are definitely trying to ensure that there is peaceful protest in solidarity with the brave hunger strikers who are trying to defend their human rights.
Take that as a
in
yes,
Delaney.
then.
So the answer, Congressman, is yes.
Okay.
And if I could
Mr.
just,
Chairman.
if you'll indulge me,
Regular order.
if you'll indulge me a little bit more in answer to your
It's
question.
his call, yeah, go
You
ahead.
you can answer the question. You got 5
I
seconds.
thought he did answer the question, so.
I look forward to answering any other questions
Okay.
you might have.
Well, my time has
Great.
expired, but I
Time
do
has
have some
expired.
UCs if I can go forward.
Yep.
This one is violent clash erupts at Delaney Hall. Chaos follows Cheryl's peaceful protest zone plan.
Without objection.
Unapologetic Cheryl defends sending state police to Delaney Hall, blames out-of-state agitators.
Without
Violent
objection.
clashes. Here are all the Democrats who voted to keep funding ICE.
Without objection.
Abolish ICE creeps back into Democratic messaging.
Without objection.
Democrat Rep. Shri Thanadar proposes Abolish ICE Act.
Without objection.
Mandami calls to ignore Democrat Party elders and push for abolishing ICE.
Without objection.
Zoran Mandami calls to abolish ICE, ignore Dems who are against it.
Without objection.
Violent Delaney Hall protests again grow chaotic. Crowds ignored the governor's plea for peace.
Without objection.
And abolish ICE movement is growing as the agency's disbanding likely.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Biggs, and I now yield 5 minutes to Ranking Member Simon.
A nonprofit organization that claims to fight for workers' rights just admitted live on camera that they fund protests against immigration enforcement. Rep. Andy Biggs had the receipts, and Chris Newman had nowhere to hide. Biggs came prepared. He pulled up NDLON's own financial records, their 990 tax filing, and started asking questions Newman clearly did not want to answer. In 2022 alone, NDLON brought in a record $14 million in revenue. 64% came from public donations. Nobody was listed as a major donor. Biggs dug deeper. Grants flowing out to organizations including Chinese Affirmative Action receiving $60,000, Uniata Latina receiving $21,000, and multiple other groups for so-called program support. Then came the number that stopped the room. Over $800,000 in travel expenses. Biggs looked straight at Newman and asked, "Who is using that travel money? Are you funding people to attend protests?" Subscribe and hit the bell. We cut through the spin and exposed the dodginess in Congress. Newman tried to dodge, pointing out that he himself had to travel to Washington for the hearing because gas prices are high. Biggs was not impressed. That is a beautiful dodge, but it does not answer the question. Newman then confirmed, people have a First Amendment right to protest, and we definitely pay for the gas. Biggs pushed harder. Are you funding people to attend the Delaney Hall protest? Newman's answer, we are definitely trying to ensure peaceful protest in solidarity with hunger strikers. Biggs did not hesitate. I will take that as a yes, and Newman confirmed, yes. This is not just about one organization funding protests. Democrats at the same hearing called for abolishing ICE entirely, with multiple Democrat representatives introducing legislation and messaging around dismantling the agency. Meanwhile, the Senate just passed a $70 billion funding bill for ICE and Border Patrol, and Democrats are fighting it every step of the way. On one side, funding deportations and border security. On the other, funding protests to stop them. The American people are paying for both. NDLON took in $14 million, gave out hundreds of thousands in grants to unnamed organizations, spent $800,000 on travel, and just admitted they fund protest activities against immigration enforcement. All of it tax-exempt, all of it hidden behind vague descriptions like program support. Rep. Biggs forced the admission live on camera. The question now is, what happens next? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and share this with everyone who deserves to know. See you in the next one.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle have called this hearing today to talk about the chaos and abuse of the United States immigration policy. They have called this hearing to talk about the impact on Americans, and that is exactly what I want to talk about today. Over the past 17 months, we have seen chaos and violence and abuse on American streets. American citizens are being illegally arrested and detained by ICE. Orlene Hernandez Reyes, a 3-year-old U.S. citizen and American, a toddler, a baby, murdered after ICE separated him from his mother. Another family torn asunder by unspeakable cruelty by Donald Trump's America. We have seen immigration agents pepper spray and tear gas American citizens. We have watched as they have terrorized and killed our neighbors, our friends, and our family members. Aliyah Rahman, harmed by Donald Trump and Stephen Miller's secret police force. Ruben Ray Martinez, Renee Nicole Good, and Alex Preddy, all shot and killed by Donald Trump's and Stephen Miller's secret police force. American citizens. We're talking about Americans. American families, that will never be the same. Mr. Beer, does this sound like an administration that is putting the safety of Americans first?
Absolutely not. In fact, they're explicitly saying they're deprioritizing serious public safety threats to focus on people going to work. And they're open about that. They think that's a good thing to deprioritize public safety.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Last week, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle decided that they hadn't seen enough. Senate Republicans decided that they actually want ICE and CBP to do more, to go further. They want American taxpayers to send ICE and CBP another 70 billion with a B dollars. And that's on top of the 162 billion with a B dollars slush fund Republicans sent this past year. So while our government is taking hard-earned taxpayer money away from American citizens to fund its campaign of fear and violence, do you know who isn't? Immigrants. Yes, I said it. In fact, over the last 3 decades, immigrants in this country have added more than 14 trillion with a T dollars to our economy. The Trump administration is throwing all of that out. Mr. Beer, well, President Trump and the administration claim that affordability and that poor people's struggle, poor Americans' struggle, is a hoax. It is one of the most important issues facing the American people right now. Are President Trump's policies making life more or less affordable for everyday Americans? Mr. Beer.
Well, there's 2 different ways in which the immigration policies are negatively affecting affordability for Americans. On the one hand, you mentioned the debt is going up as a direct consequence of the immigration policy of this president. If you look at what the CBO has said, they'd said that the recent cohort of immigrants that they're trying to deport will reduce the deficit by $1 trillion if they don't deport them. Obviously, they're trying to deport them, so they're going to try to reverse those gains. The increase in the debt directly affects interest rates and makes costs more expensive for mortgages and car loans and things of that nature. At the same time, we're losing all of the goods and services that they were previously producing, which is also a value to Americans.
Thank you, Mr. Beer. Once again, I am struck, extremely struck by the misguided focus of our colleagues. There is no shortage of attacks on our constitutional rights. Again, I'm talking about Americans. These attacks are happening every single day in our communities, attacks that are harming families, our children, like this little boy, Liam Ramos. You want to talk about chaos. The Trump administration is causing chaos all around us. All around us. Those names that I lifted up today, they represent real people with real families, Americans who have been violated by their own government. And we've seen that they have had, under this administration, little to no recourse. And I yield back.